It is my pleasure to welcome Anna Frostin to this special edition of Ask the Author for our new book, Life After Trauma. I'm so grateful that we were able to connect thanks to the wonderful Steiner Ditlevsen and the ETTG conference in Alicante, Spain. You just overwhelmed me with so much positivity despite the traumatic experiences you've had in your life. Your story is a true, it's the whole reason why I launched this book, particularly because many of the traumatic experiences you've had even as an adult can be traced back to your childhood. And the story that you share in Life After Trauma is really like a collection of your diary entries, correct?
Yes.
And it's really touching to me because one of the things that you say in your chapter is that at the very beginning of your life, you didn't feel like you were wanted because your mother really wanted a son. So tell me about that.
When my brother was born, he was the star in my family, and I wasn't anything. And I see even small things. And for me, I never blame my parents about this, for it was more important for me to have a mom which loved me than to blame myself for shortcomings. So I blame myself for not being good enough. And there are stories that show it. Music was very important. So my mom bought a wonderful, beautiful violin to my sister and a guitar to my other sisters and flute to my brother.
And no instrument for you?
Nothing for me.
Wow. So how was that growing up, just completely feeling like you were unwanted?
Yes, and I think it affects my whole immune system. For people didn't recognize that I have a difficult heart disease.
Right. And so your heart problem was diagnosed when you were a child, right?
Yes, and it would start just before it was diagnosed. So it's therefore I was a bit tired. I couldn't do the same thing as the other children. So it's curious to see none in my family, none of my teachers, even the school doctor. Every year he got a paper from the hospital that I was not allowed to do gymnastics and such things because it was dangerous for my heart. But nobody talked about it. So for me, of course it was something blaming inside myself.
And so you always took it on as you were the problem, never looking to the other people. I mean, because normally our adults, our parents, our teachers, of course we would want them to take action. And so you just internalized all of that. Well, in the story that you share in Life After Trauma, you mention that as your brother was dying with cancer, you had 2 months with him that were completely transformative. Tell me about that.
This time I discovered that maybe his life was not so wonderful as I thought. And I see how important love is, not only for recognitions, but to feel a happiness, life is a wonderful place to live. And this, I was a dull person, and we went through very tough things together. And this part of his life changed whole his life. Something new coming up in him. And it was an amazing thing. And I felt so much love. So much love. And I was sorry, but we don't have used more time together at all. And it's therefore I wanted to write this, because we need to talk much more about important things to each other.
Yeah, I know that that's one of your messages, that you really believe that we need more dialogue with families, with parents, of course, in love relationships. So, Anna, how did you get to that point of forgiveness? Was it just because you always assumed all of the blame? Because I would imagine that seeing your brother get all the attention and him becoming this superstar and getting media attention, and then he became a priest, the youngest priest, 20 years old in Sweden, and all of this love and adoration was on him. How did you get to a point of forgiving him, to make that connection, to make the last 2 months of his life so amazing?
Many good things have also happened in my own life, and I heard discover about many people who loved me, and I see the love in myself. And this time I have started a new field for the breaking through come when they did. It was for a job. They made lots of intelligence tests and such things. And suddenly I was very high score. And I got a top job for one of the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world. And I was educated with chiefs from different countries. And I was very good in the group. So, and then lots of love was coming in my life. But I had earlier a wonderful boyfriend, which I decided that we should live together. But suddenly I just threw all this away, because it, for the first time in my life, was playing and laughing and joy and parties. And suddenly man said, I want to love you. And he was the star in the group. And all my girlfriend was jealous. He chosen you. They couldn't understand. And when he decided, you had to say yes or no. And I was very unsure. Is this right? And I said yes, because I didn't know what I should say. But after this, we married. We had a good time. And when all these bad things happened, first time was wonderful. Yes, we have fun. We do nice things. But then suddenly I get my arm in a machine and everything changed, and I lost, and my husband got a new job and I took another job. It was not a good job for me, so I lost it. Suddenly everything changed. So, but after this, to your question, I changed. I got my job back with the first company because they wanted me, but I said no. I want to learn more about psychology and psychotherapy. And then my journey began. I was working what was happening in my childhood, and step by step, I got closer to my brother. And then when this happened with him, it was an open up. And nobody in the family really saw his kid. But it was so amazing, because when death is so close, you get near to life. So it was so intensive. Every hour was intensive. So it was so much. And lots of things were changing, both for us.
So it was, part of it was your study in psychology and psychotherapy, that you could really understand and put your childhood in perspective. So your natural tendency to not blame everyone else and to take it on yourself was, I imagine, enhanced by just understanding that your parents had their own flaws and their own shortcomings. And one of the things I know that you're doing now, as you've been successfully teaching and writing books about psychotherapy, and you're working on another book, your third book, I know that you really believe that it's our painful life lessons that can bring us more awareness and really connect us to love. And I know we're just scratching the surface. As people read your chapter in the book, they'll realize that, I mean, I remember when I first heard your story and I met you, I'm thinking, it's just not possible to go through so many traumatic experiences and still, be able to be happy. And then you found love again and you're happily married. But what do you think could give us hope for those of us that are going through painful times, whether we feel apart from our family, unloved by our own parents, or having a divorce or some other trauma? What do you think we could share with our audience right now who might be going through something?
I think it's important to feel the feelings we have. I think, not denying them, because when I went in the pain and allowed it me, and not blaming my parents and my family, not blaming any, but to see the pain, the sorrows in myself, and I was so much stronger after that. And it helped me a lot, and see that it was not my person, it was the situation. And love is something wonderful, because love is to use our strengths. And for me, it is helping others to use their strengths. For it's so people, I have met so many wonderful people. So why shall we choose the bad one? We can do what we can do with helping people, and see that this thoughts is dysfunctional. These feelings I can change, because there are so much joy in life, and every day is joyful for me. It's so fantastic. And also, can I say, I have serious health disease, but I do a lot for my immune system. For I think to take care of this, because we are not different parts of soul and bodies. We are of psyche. We are a unit, and all fits together. All fits together. So we need to be yourself. And the most important thing, I think, it's not seeking for love, not seeking for joy, because joy is there. Love is coming. And doing right things, I think it's important to, when we have big problems, I think also important to do things with the body. I do yoga, I walking, and it is an amazing thing that I have a whole world. And it's so to see the mountains and see the sea, and I need also to be, I must tell one thing I'm very proud of. I am coming from South area, Sweden, and I have never skiing, and I had my health problem. And in Sweden, there is a very famous skiing race, which men did for to choose to show that they are men. It's a ski race they have every year, which is called Vasaloppet, and it's nearly 90 kilometers. And I was a beginner, and I have did this 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
So we can do the impossible thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Anna, you are such an inspiration, like truly, truly. I know that many people will find inspiration when they read your story in this book. I thank you so much for your courage. Thank you for your laughter. Thank you for inspiring faith in us that we can rise up. We're stronger than we ever would know.
Thank you. You are a wonderful person.
Well, I'm so glad that we're connected. And for those of you that would like to connect with Anna, you can visit her website, cognitivetherapy.se. It's in Swedish, but you can definitely connect with her and definitely read her chapter in the book. Again, Anna, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Andrea.
Much love.
Blessing you.
Did you enjoy that interview? I sincerely hope so. Please support the author by getting a copy of the book and visit us online at myliferewritten.com so you can see all of the author bios and more of the interviews. If you enjoyed this video, then please do click that like button and share this interview with someone else who needs to understand that no matter the trauma and drama in your life, you are stronger than you think and you can rise up. If you have a story of overcoming and recovering from trauma, please check out the publishing options online at makeyourmarkglobal.com. And perhaps we will soon be featuring your story in one of our upcoming books. Until we meet again, my friend, please remember you are a gift to the world. So share your presence with passion. Much love. Bye.